All right, so this is the first of what I assume will be many weekly growth masterminds. Totally didn't promote it, so if you're watching this, I really appreciate it. Take a look. I am starting this so that I start. What is this all about? So, if you've noticed, we've been reaching out to friends and family and other founders to test out Opps.ai. This is a product that I've been working on for, well, since the beginning of the year. And what I wanted to do, I guess, just to kick it off, is just kind of give an overview for anyone that's watching of what Ops is and what you can use Ops for, and then talk a little bit about what's coming. What I'll do then each week is, this is really all around growth. This is around how do you grow your business, in this case, using, cold outreach and a couple different types of cold outreach. And Ops is really where things start. Ops stands for opportunities, and I think all opportunities start with really good data. And over the last year plus, through Founders Pack and a few other efforts, been building up specific data sets, and then now I've productized it. So if you haven't tried Ops out yet, it'd be amazing to have you do so. I'll put a link up at the end, but you can basically just go to app.opps.ai. I'll also put a landing page in comments where you can follow this and sign up and get some free data. And what we're looking for is feedback. But maybe I'll just take a step back and just kind of explain what is Opps.ai, what can you do with it right now, and what do we do with it, particularly the data that comes out of this. And then over the next, every week, what I would commit to doing is on Wednesdays at this time, we'll have a growth topic. So you can join, you can, see how lists are built. You can bring problems to that, almost like an office hours. And we'll show you how to set up campaigns, do outreach, write copy, build new data sets. And we're going to also continuously improve this product, as we have been. We've already made some changes this week that I think have improved it. So, all right, anyways, without further ado, so this is kind of what I've been working on. I appreciate anyone taking a look and giving me feedback on it and trying it out. All right, so this is really Ops, the onboarding presentation. I'll just walk through quickly. I'd like to do these in groups every week. So if you want to join and do an onboarding, you do this on Wednesdays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And otherwise, you can also book an individual one-on-one onboarding, and happy to walk you through, talk about, what's your business, who you're targeting, and what you can do with Ops. All right, so essentially, the easiest way to explain Opps.ai to start is it is a data marketplace. So for my own business, and particularly my community of investors and founders, seed and pre-seed stage startups over the last year, we grew that starting with data. And we built up data on investors, venture capitalists, accelerators, angel investors. We invited them to different events, and we invited them to, whether it's pitch events, in-person events, or to join us for Ask Me Anything's masterminds and other, related things to Founders Pack in particular. And also, we use the data for that to find companies, funded companies. So founders of funded companies, we do a lot, obviously, with Y Combinator, Techstars, but not limited to that. So really, what happened was I had all this data, and then started building custom data for people as a test, saying, who's your ideal customer? Let's build a data set for you can use in your own campaigns. And what came out of that was there was demand, sold about the first, I think 20 customers on that. Those were very curated data sets, but it was very difficult to deliver curated data to everybody. So we said, look, let's just build a SaaS. So that's what we did starting in April. We designed the UI UX kind of January, February, and then built the Opps.ai data marketplace. So now you can basically find, first of all, data on funded companies. So any, companies that have been funded by VCs, angels, or accelerators, not any, but a lot. And then high growth companies. Because the other frustration I had was when I go to use other data tools to build, customer data sets I can use in cold outreach campaigns, I can't find high growth industries. They're not in SIC codes still. And SaaS has been around for like over 12, 13 years at least right now. And here we are, well, maybe, more than that. And you still can't type in SaaS and SIC codes. You can't type in e-commerce. And now you got all these other new categories like artificial intelligence, fintech. And I wanted a way that, anyone that also had unique data sets, because I meet a lot of people that are salespeople, marketing people, founders, and they've built up their own unique data sets and they want to figure out, like, can I monetize this? Can I trade data? And one of the philosophies in Form Your Own Pack, my new book, is how do you share technology, talent, data, relationships? Well, how do you share data? And so the idea is, like, can you, monetize or, look for an opportunity to sell a data set that you've uniquely crafted? We approve it and we'll co-sell it on the marketplace. So that's really how Opps was born. So Opps, again, Opps.ai being, we're building data based upon multiple data sets that we enrich. So what does that really mean? We want to get away from manual and complicated data pulls and scrapes. We want to build a SaaS interface where you could go in and search for, data on funded companies and then investors. And beyond that, any high growth sector, so it might be bootstrapped or debt funded or PE, whatever. So it's really those two main categories, and then a data marketplace for curated lists. So we're building every week, and we'll do drops every week, and I'll show you some of the one or two of the available products. You can go right now to the Opps.ai. It's actually app.opps.ai. We have to update the regular website. Sorry, we'll fix that. We're just in the process of updating that based upon some really good feedback from our friend Christian Rollman. Christian, thank you very much. And Christian will actually be an AMA guest we'll announce after this for Founders Pack members. But long and short, if you go to app.opps.ai, put your email address in, it'll send you a code to log in. I'll show you how that looks. You can then look in the marketplace tab and you can see curated lists. So these are like lists that we've built and we sell as one-off products. You can also submit a request. If you don't find data that you want, you can say, look, this is what I'm looking for. Can you, build it? And we probably have it. We have like over 10 million records, and we can build custom sets that we start with one piece of data and then enrich it. All of our records have, and I think kind of alluded to this, I've been trying to build this in public, but I've also been kind of shy, which is terrible because I'm telling everybody else to build in public. But here we are. This is what I'm doing. So I sold the first $1,000 in customer accounts. It was really difficult to deliver that manually. It was a real burnout and a nightmare. So we said, no, this has got to be self-service for the most part. So like I said, in January, we had UI UX designs. We started principal development on April 25th. I looked at the date. And by June 25th, we had a really good beta. So we've just been improving the data, fixing bugs, and making the user experience pretty good. I'd say right now we are definitely at an MVP stage. So I think it's very usable, and you can use the data that comes out of your searches. And that's what you would do with Opps initially, is you would search for your ideal customer, build a data set, see how many records we have. If you can't find it, or if maybe you see in the marketplace a product that you would use in campaigns, buy that. Or you request a custom data set. You say, look, this is who I'm looking for. Can you build something that's enriched? All of our records have email, business email. So it's typically a lot of B2B records, but not limited to that. A lot of them are also really good for e-commerce because they're audience based. So it's like, oh, this is the audience of X profile, and we've enriched it with email. Here's data that you can use in different types of campaigns, and I'll explain what the campaigns are to find new customers. So we did June 25th, the beta version came out. We've been playing with it and fixing it as we go. We started doing onboarding in the last month. We did 17, I think, last week alone, and we've done about 40 customer onboardings, and we're targeting to do 100 by mid-October. So if you haven't done an onboarding yet, our goal is to do 100 a week. So we're going to do use the data that we build to reach out to people that look like our customer, founders, typically, whether it's bootstrapped or funded, and marketers and sales, and just say, hey, can you try out Opps? Give us your feedback on the product. If you haven't done that yet, really would appreciate if you did at app.opps.ai. and just put your email in, send me an email. From there, we'll see that you registered, and we'll send you an automated email with a coupon so you can get some free data. We're targeting 100 by mid-October that are first onboarding customers, and I'm hoping out of that we'll get our first 10 to 20 paying customers out of that. We actually created annual deals for people that are MVP customers. So on our site, it's demo.day. You'll see that we have 3 rate plans for data, like the one that has 250 records a month, 3,000 a year. Another that's 1,000, 12,000 a year record, 12,000 records a year, and then 3,000 a month, so 36,000 records a year. You can buy the whole year. Normally they're $49.99 and $2.99 a month. You can buy the whole year for $99, $199, and $2.99. And then we've got some other cool stuff that's coming out, but if you decide after getting some free data, giving us feedback that you'd like to keep using it, there's really good incentives, and I'm open. Like, we also need affiliate partners. So if you think that you would sell data, as maybe you're a lead generation agency, or you have customers that would fit this profile, happy to talk about setting you up as an affiliate. We have an affiliate program, and we already have our first customers that have come through that, which we're really excited about. We will also take on up to 5 white glove or managed campaigns. So if you want us to do all the, not just the data, but build the campaigns for you and the automation, and then you just handle the responses, we'll take up to 5 of those a month right now. So we created those annual deals. In October, we have partnered with my good friend to launch Opps+. We've also been building our own cold outreach project called Grow Toro, which we're inching towards launch on that. Hoping that, I think the Send Now product, which you'll see the brand of Opps+, will be integrated first. And I'll explain why I want that. So we talk about campaigns, you build data on your ideal customer. Then what do you do with it? Well, one thing that we do with it is cold email outreach in small batches, compliant, CAN spam compliant, so that you're talking to a person, you give them an option to opt out, but you want to reach out to people that really look like your ideal client and you need help. In our case, we've been looking for MVP and beta customers to help with ops. Sometimes it's syndicate campaigns, sometimes it's other things that they really want. By integrating ops with marketing automation, and we're going to have many integrations over time, you can build your data and then just send it into a campaign so that you've got your data set now in a campaign. You can build your cold outreach, in this case, via email. And we have some really good playbooks around this, happy to share with people. So that's the first thing. In October, we should have that first integration. I'm hoping it's with Grow Toro, but it's probably with the Opps+ branded product, the Send Now product. November, we have something that we're working on called Valet. So we have all these generative chat interfaces to write stuff for you, to write blog posts, to create images, right, with Midjourney. But our vision with Valet is this is a single generative business interface. And to demonstrate that, we're going to make it so that all the stuff that goes into building a list and building a campaign, you can just say, I want a campaign targeting this type of audience. Like, I want founders that are funded by Sequoia in San Francisco, and they're in artificial intelligence and they're in the seed stage. Build me a campaign where they'll book a call with me for my product, which is X SaaS product. And you'll go, okay, I generated this many records from the list. I set up a campaign for you. I added the data to the campaign. I wrote some initial copy. I set up 3 email addresses and I'm warming them up. Can you approve it? I want this to be a very Star Trek type experience where, like on Star Trek, if you look on the Enterprise, you have the warp core and you have the the replicator and you have the transporter, right? You have the holodeck. You have all these fantastic siloed applications that make the ship a whole. But the thing that you always interface with is the computer, and that's Valet. So we want to do that. We want to solve for the need for an expert user on SaaS. We have all these SaaS applications that are out in the world, and you have to learn them, train them, and they're all different interfaces. But what if you could just ask Valet to do the thing that you want in those SaaS applications? And that's the long-term vision of this. To demonstrate that, we're going to integrate data with campaigns and let you tell Valet what you want, and it'll build all the elements that you would need behind, like kind of like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. So that's the vision of where we're going. All right, so to pull it back to what we actually have, I want you to think about, for you, like, who's your ideal client? Who are you? What products or services do you have? Are you B2B, B2C? Are you e-commerce, which is kind of, it's B2C as well? Who do you sell to? What do they look like? Where are they? What industry? What size of company? Where do they hang out? Are they on Twitter? Are they Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? And then, are they accessible by email, LinkedIn, Twitter, or other social platforms? And how do you find opportunities today? If you're not using cold email outreach or cold LinkedIn or Twitter outreach, this data is very good for that. So the idea would be, if you go to app.opps.ai, and I'll put some links in this after, you can go, and right now we don't really have the Valet generative chat, but you can see there's a placeholder for chat, and that's coming in November. In the meantime, you can basically put in your search criteria. Where's the customer, city, state, or country? Have they raised money or revenue, if those are important to you, and what industry they're in? And then it'll save under all your search history here. And you can go back and you can decide whether you subscribe to Unlock. So that'll probably be the default when you first log in. It'll say put your email in. It'll send you a code to your email. You just put the code in, you're in. And then if you hit subscribe to Unlock, you'll see there's a rate plan option. We'll provide people that are MVP clients with a free month of our basic plan. And if you have a reason for more, just let me know and we'll talk about it. But you'll basically get a free month of that. Use it, download some data, test out the data quality. Once you've subscribed and you say unlock, so you see this unlock button, I would want to unlock these 419 records. It would then go to download. Just one change I will mention, we know that's coming, which is there's a little bit of a lag between unlock and download, I noticed. So we're creating an in progress feature. So if you test it out and that, hit the button once, if you wait 20 seconds, literally, the file will come up, or you can hit this little eye piece and you'll see the data. This is where you'll put in the coupon code that I'll provide to MVP testers so you can get some free data. And then this is the data marketplace. And I'll do an actual demo of it, but this is the presentation, obviously, but I'll show an actual demo. So you can see these are curated data sets we've created. And you can, for example, you might want to say, hey, I want the Inc. 5000 from 2019 for, a couple $100. I want Anderson Horowitz funded companies, the last 880 companies they funded, for $44. And these are all, again, email, primary contact, which is usually a founder, typically has LinkedIn, and often has Twitter. So then you can use this in those types of campaigns. And then what do we need? We need feedback on user experience, the ease of use, the ability to search and find data that you want, sign up and check out. I'd like feedback on that. And, downloading, I kind of mentioned the one thing that we noticed and we're going to resolve. So when you test it out, you'll notice that. Just hit the button once. It won't feel like you did anything, but then the file will pop up. It just takes a little bit to compile and pull it in. I've noticed that on all other platforms it's similar. We have sped it up, but there's still always going to be a lag, it looks like. Data quality, like, is the data you got and you've used it in campaigns, has it worked great? And then any other ideas you have to make this great, like, how do we make this different? How do we make this useful to you day in, day out? What's your wish list? I kind of told you what we're doing with integration to marketing automation, the Opps Plus. I'll actually show you that UI. And then, basically, we, as I mentioned, we have, we'll provide free basic month. And then if you want, you have these crazy annual plans. And then we're going to update with the deals for the integration to Send Now and Grow Toro. So you'll have opportunity to have both those products as one experience. All right, so we'll have email campaign sequences coming out very shortly with email verification and or warm-up, depending on which product we're talking about. Valet, we're working on our first MVP for generative chat, which would then eliminate you pushing buttons on the screen and allow you to, build campaigns from generative chat. And then this is what, the first marketing automation integration will look like. You've got campaigns. You'll load your contacts in from Ops and create a sequence that's going to go out to them in an automated fashion. And I should probably reverse those two. You'll see your contacts, and then you'll have your campaign. They'll go out in an automated way. And this is low volume, like 50 to 200 emails per email address that you're sending from per day. That's the magic, or part of the magic. We have playbooks to help. And that's what we'll do each week, is we'll show you best practices. Like, how do you get this to the inbox? And both these products, GrowToro and Send Now, are optimized to get campaigns to the inbox, but it starts with data. So you really want to have really good data. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So if you're interested in being a beta tester, let's do this. I'm just going to put in chat. Just opt in to. I think the best thing. Oh, we have a landing page. That's what I'll do. So just opt into this landing page. You'll get some. You can book an onboarding with us, and you'll get some free data out of it. And then we can connect back with you and get feedback on how to improve the product. We'll update you as we make improvements, including the launch of sequences and then the eventual launch of our MVP for Valet, which I'm pretty excited about. What I'm envisioning there is a long-term platform where you develop skills. So you build Valet skills. For example, we'll eventually integrate to Stripe, we'll integrate to QuickBooks, we'll integrate to Salesforce or HubSpot. So then you can just tell Valet, like, hey, anytime someone replies to a campaign and is marked as interested, create a lead in my HubSpot. And anytime in my Salesforce, when an opportunity goes to close one, generate a Stripe invoice. Those are the sort of things I'm envisioning, where we have the ability to, instead of you having to hire experts or become an expert on each of those software applications and then an expert on how to integrate them, you just tell it what you want, and it'll create the automation, or it'll create the activity. All right, so what I'm going to also do, let me just share let's see. I think what I'll do is let me just walk you through, show you this is real. All right, so this is Ops. If you go to app.opps.ai, we have to update the Opps.ai website, so it'll come to this as well. You can see generative chat is coming. The way I would start off is I would do some sort of a search. So I might say, hey, I want Los Angeles, and I want companies that are in the SaaS industry, and maybe they've raised money.
Someone's at the front door.
Oh, great. Someone's at the front door. And then you can see I have tokens up here. So when you subscribe to a plan under profile, you'll see I'm on the premium plan in this case. I still have 2,400 tokens left over. I can see the details of the request. There's 83 records. It's not unlocked yet. So I'm just going to hit unlock, confirm. Now it's my data. I can download it. Now this is what I was mentioning. If you hit download, count to 20, because what's going to happen is it will download it. We're changing this so when you hit it, it'll go to in progress. It was just something we noticed that creates a weird user experience otherwise. So it's actually in progress. We just have to notify you guys, the user, so it's not frustrating. In the meantime, any list that you have unlocked is under lists. What I envision here is once we integrate to various platforms like Send Now, which will be the Ops Plus branded product, or GrowToro, and there you can see it opened up. So I think having that little in progress will be a big improvement. So we're just in the process of fixing that. You can see I can download the data. I can also go back and I can view the data. And then what I'm envisioning is you just hit a button and it'll send the data to your campaign. Oh no, what happened? I broke it. Oh, that's never good. Oh, my internet went out. Am I still there? Oh, I guess I'm back on. Okay. My internet's back on. Whoops. And then I mentioned the marketplace. So right now we have curated products that we've dropped. So if you take a look at this, every week we'll have different product drops. So we'll create a curated data set. You can even request that if you just send us an email at hello@opps.ai. Um, so these are, prospect lists essentially that we've curated, and you can just buy it. One change that is coming is right now, this is separate from your subscription. So it's like you would just pay for this through your credit card on Stripe, but we're going to make it so you can also redeem tokens, which right now that's a little bit of a disconnect. So we're updating this. So you'll have two prices. You'll have the dollar price, which, um, just if you just want to buy a one-off product and not eat up tokens, or maybe you don't have any tokens, you don't have a subscription, you just buy the product. That was kind of the idea, was you don't have to be a subscriber to buy product. But I think it makes sense the other way around, which is we're going to make it so that you can also redeem tokens for each of these. So you might say, hey, I want the last 720 companies that were funded by Lightspeed, and I would buy that. And I won't do that. But so, and then if you do have a unique data set that you think you've curated and you want us to review and consider co-selling as a product, you can submit that here. You would upload the CSV. You can make a thumbnail, but we'll make a proper thumbnail. Connect your Stripe so you can get payout, and we'll review it. We might do a call with you, and if we think it's good, we'll enable it on our marketplace and co-sell it with you. And I think right now we're paying out 70-30. So it's a 70-30 payout to whoever submits a product that's accepted. And that's essentially Ops for now. So if you have any questions, welcome them. I really appreciate anyone that's taking a look at this and willing to try it out. And next week we'll have it probably on a growth topic, like, okay, now what do you do with this data? You build data. How do you use it in cold outreach? How do you use it in LinkedIn, email, Twitter, IG? If you're an e-commerce brand, what kind of other data sets can you get? Like right now, those things are curated. Like we would have to build the data for you, but there's neat stuff we can do there. So what we'll do is we'll have a little calendar of weekly growth topics. And if you're a Founders Pack member or you just want to join, you don't have to be a Founders Pack member. You want to try out Ops, your marketing sales founder, join us and try out Ops and give us feedback, and then hopefully you get the same sort of benefits that we're getting with the data. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. That was, hey, look, it was like 30 minutes on the dot. I think that's a good first step here. It's got me out there talking to everybody in the ether instead of behind the computer building this. So I'm excited for feedback from people and appreciate people that are jumping on. We have about 60 people is our goal, 60 more people, 60 more companies to test out Ops and go through an onboarding. So once we get to the first 100, then I think we'll have made changes that'll make this. We've already seen changes from those calls that improvements in speed, improvements in filter, improvements in login, and we'll just keep adding data to this as we grow. But I think everybody's feedback is really valuable, and we want to do whatever we can to reward people and help them grow their own business through this. I think this is a great start for people that are looking to add cold outreach of some sort, and we can share playbooks with you to do that. And that's probably what these growth calls can also be. It's like, if you have a case study, who's your ideal customer? How would I reach them? How would I build the data? How would I build the campaign? And then what would I do once I get those opportunities? Those are the sort of things I want to talk about. So bring those case studies, bring your scenario to the next calls, and we'll start promoting these a little bit. Share this with your friends and family, and I look forward to talking to you soon.